Okay, so I just started recording, and they have a character here from Fate's Stay the Night, and I believe like this is what people were telling me, that you can claim a free 5-star, claim the character Archer, and the materials needed to build him to level 60. That's pretty freaking. That's a good deal, right? What binds you together isn't summoning spells or relics, but a bond that transcends causality. The servant Archer has come forth into the world to fight alongside you. I think that's a really good deal, right? Like for free, you get like Archer, this character from Fate's Stay the Night, and like all the materials to get him to level 60. Like for my playthrough, if I wanted to use Archer, like I haven't even gotten to the Trailblaze level that I can get, level past 50. So this is like a usable character, like right there. You know what I mean? Like right away. Let's claim. Very cool. Very cool. I know of Fate just from like this series, just from like reacting to trailers in like Roma Reacts and stuff like that. And you got all this stuff. Oh my god, they even have the like the Cocolia boss stuff, right? That's pretty crazy. A collaboration event. Holy Grail Unlimited Wish. I think we saw this, right? That's crazy. Just like if like Archer is like, is he a 5-star, right? Yeah, he's a 5-star. I think they did a good job, right? Again, I've only seen stuff through trailers, right? But like, I think that like, you would believe it's a Honkai character, right? In a way, you know? Look at this, bodysuit. Very cool. Yeah, like, I mean, they look cool. I bet they're awesome to use. The fact that you have enough to level them up to, like, what? They literally said you have enough to level them up to, and I'm guessing they mean, like, as well, we have, like, a lot of level up materials as well, but, like, yeah, you can ascend them like this as well. Okay. Very cool. Oh, we get a wish from that as well, which is always very nice. Yeah, like, I actually think that's a really, really cool idea. And I knew they were doing this collaboration a while back because, like, I think people, like, were talking about it. And I thought it was really cool because, like, again, I only saw, like, Fate from trailers and Roma Reacts. So, like, it's definitely something that, like, I don't know, like, a lot about beyond trailers. I haven't seen the actual episodes themselves, but I have seen the trailers. And from the trailers, it always looks very cool, has a very cool art style, some great combat. Really cool, like, lighting and, like, visuals. Like, really, really cool. So it's really cool to see a character like that here as well. I wonder what you guys think about that. Because, again, I don't know how, like, you guys felt about, past Hoyo collaboration characters. I know, like, Aloy was in, Genshin at one point. But I think that's, I don't know. For me, like, is it wrong to say that I think that, like, if you look at the character designs, Archer, like, maybe looks like it could be, like, some sort of, like, Honkai character. I don't know. Like, and maybe it's just the way the Honkai has designed him. Like, it just, like, looks like it fits within the world as well. I don't know. And it probably is due to the fact that, like, adapting, like, an anime style is probably easier to adapt it to, like, the style of Honkai than it is easier to adapt, like, a, Aloy to Genshin. But then again, I haven't, like, people maybe like Aloy as well in the game too. I don't know how people felt about collaborations. By the way, my name is Calvin, also known as Robert. This is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. And today, we're going to be going up into, where are we going, by the way? Back onto our ship, the Astro Express. And there's a quest here. Clouds leave no trace. And that's what we're going to be doing today as well. So this is the note that should be over here.
A letter?
A letter quietly lies on the table in the passenger car. Judging from its texture and style, it's from the Xianzhou. On the paper, the names of the sender and recipient are all omitted, with only a faint trace of dim ink vaguely visible. Open it? You unfold the letter and the ink immediately becomes visible. It's as if invisible hand holds the pen like a sword, making swift, decisive strokes. After a moment, the content regains its original appearance. I've learned of your return to your home, how you upended the ancient seas and saved the world from danger. I'm sure that this has recovered your forgotten memories. In accordance with our old vow, We should now once again roam the lands of the past, drink in celebration, and recount our great adventures. Wait, are they talking about Dan Heng?
Upend the ancient sea and return to old ground. It's a letter for Dan Heng.
Yeah.
But who is it from? I should ask the conductor.
100%. Now, we know that in terms of like, you know, character quests we have to do and stuff as well, we know that like Jingliu has said in the past that she was here to meet an old friend, and I wonder if the old friend was Dan Feng. Because at the time I thought it was Blade. But I wonder if like the old friend was Dan Feng. Wait, I should make sure I do the right quest here. Because I have done it in the past where I've like, wait. Oh. Oh, very cool, Honkai. And I know Genshin added a feature like this as well, where you can like focus on one mission as well, but that's very cool. Very, very cool. Changes everything, right? Like now you don't have to worry about like things getting blocked or anything. Very cool. Love that.
Heave-ho! Huh? Trailblazer, do you need help with something?
There's a letter here. There's a letter on the table. Who sent the letter?
Pom-Pom's been cleaning up this whole time and didn't see any letters.
So someone was able to drop this here? Did someone sneak onto the express?
What? Don't scare Pom-Pom like that! Why are there always strange things sneaking onto our train?
Oh.
Pom-Pom is going to upgrade the security level around here.
Yeah, maybe for the best at this stage.
What does the letter say?
Hand that over to Pumba. I think it is a letter to Dan Feng, right? Obviously, like, you know, as we have seen with a lot of people, directed at Dan Heng, meant for Dan Feng, but because they like look exactly the same, yeah. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Who could have sent it? Does Dan Heng have any friends on the Luofu? If Pom-Pom remembers correctly, he said he was exiled from there, right?
Yeah. But now he's like, you know, I love the way they do this Jingliu Blade, because like as soon as like this 100%, like first of all, Jingliu would just like ask outright, you know? Blade, I don't think would ask. You know what I mean? Blade would just like show up if he needed to. But we'll say Blade is just for fun, I guess.
I highly doubt Dan Heng's enemy would send an invitation
and
letter.
if he did, he would literally just show up, I feel like.
Why don't you show Dan Heng the letter? You know where to find him.
Sure. Any chance I get to talk to Dan Heng, I will take it. Yeah, no, I love that feature. Just like not only like putting a focus, I guess it is a focus on the quest, but just like changing things completely. So contextually they don't hurt your brain. And not that like I'm very good at like, you know, I respect Hoyo for like the way they do things, but also I think a lot of my people might be very good at just like not focusing on the three characters here that are standing here at the time. But I still think, you know, for immersion, I appreciate the fact that they do it this way, where they make you like, you know, they erase the characters that are standing there like from existence until later on, and I think that's actually very cool. Dan Heng, you here? Wow, what an archive room, Dan Heng. Only smart, handsome people must spend their time in the archive room, am I right? I can leave, but you want to go for tea? What a side profile, Dan Heng.
What is it? Do you need something?
Found a letter. This letter is for you. Someone's inviting you to return to old ground. I could be wrong. It might just be directed for Dan Heng. Oh, he's so pretty.
There's no signature. And it doesn't mention a time or place. Looks like whoever sent this expects me to remember.
Yeah, but again, if it is Dan Feng, then, you know, he doesn't.
Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them.
Right. Do you need any help? I'd love to help.
Thanks, but I don't even know where to start.
Music is gorgeous, isn't it?
Let me hold on to the letter. Anything
Right, there we
related
go,
to
yeah.
Dongfang's past should be handled with care.
100%. Stella with a concerned look on her face. Yeah, honestly, Don Heng, like, I trust Don Heng and, like, say, March, Himiko, and Welt, like, with my life. Oh my god, look at him. Somber Don Heng. Oh no. The appearance of this letter makes you feel uneasy. You evoke the cloud hymn, and a droplet of water condenses from the air and soaks into the letter. The handwriting disappears, and another line of writing blurs due to the water stain. Of 5 people, 3 must pay the price.
Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. Letting her leave first was a wise choice.
Whoa.
I can't put her in danger again because of
Don
this.
Heng, I'm telling you 110%, we would walk through fire to see you smile. Please.
But if he didn't send the letter, then who did? Maybe I should make a trip to the seat of divine foresight. I need to ask Jingyuan about the Stellaron hunters.
Sure, 100%. Just then and there, Jingliu has joined the party temporarily. Pretty freaking crazy. What? Well, we just have Jingliu in our party? That's pretty sick, right? That is pretty sick. But what's crazy is like, wait, is Jingliu just standing there? They're all like, wait, what? Yingxing is standing there. Jingliu is just standing in the middle of the room like this too? What in the heck is happening? What have they done? What have they done?
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring.
Reassuring. By the way, yeah, we talked about a million times before. Jingliu, like one of my favorite designs in the entire game. I would say top 3, if not, the best design. Such a sick design.
Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old
Love the
days.
voice acting too. I do love Yangxing's personality because it just goes to show like how contrasting it is to like other people, like Jingyuan, for example. Like I love how he's so about like keeping the law intact, you know what I mean? And again, it's not that I agree with like keeping the law intact for everything, because for example, like, pardoning Don Heng was the best choice that Jingyuan ever made. But I do also think that like it's a personality trait, right? It's an interesting personality trait that Yangxing is like a very like uphold the honors of my job type of character. You know what I mean? And he's so adorable.
However, I never thought Jingyuan would send you to accompany me.
Yeah, after everything that
It
happened.
would seem our fates are intertwined.
Like he used one of Jingliu's move against Blade.
Huh?
That relationship, by the way, before we go any further, that relationship between the line of the relationship between Blade, Jingyuan, and Yangxing, one of my favorites. Like, I genuinely think Yangxing is going to become a better swordsman just from like knowing all these characters. Here we are. So this is going to be like a Don Heng like mission without Stell. Interesting.
I've got my work cut out for me today.
Yep. He's like, oh god, Asterix Best person shows up. Jingliu shows up. Well, Don Feng shows up. But yeah, obviously I don't see him as Don Feng, but you know what I mean, where it's like the idea of like the incarnation, I guess, or the trail of like descendant of Don Feng, or like I guess like, the High Elder, I guess, if you could say it. The incarnation of Long, not the reincarnation of Long, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's crazy that they're all here. Greetings. I need to speak about to the general about something.
Greetings. I need to speak to the general.
This is gonna be so cool, isn't it? This is gonna be so cool.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100 years' salary if they like.
Oh my god, what a line. That would be necessary. We hear about something else. Yangxing just basically, again, 100% be like, I'm not apologizing. And honestly, like, that's what I respect about them. They're just like, I'm upholding my duty. You know what I mean?
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their
Yeah.
duty. I should be apologizing for any damage I caused myself.
You were backed into a corner, in fairness, though. Like, you were.
You came at a bad time. The general is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Don Heng, do you recognize the person on the steps?
No. We didn't... Don Heng didn't meet Jingliu, right?
No. If the general isn't available,
Wait.
I'll come back another
Does this
day.
change the mission?
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped
Yeah,
clean after the
100%.
rebirth.
100%. That's why pardoning him was the best thing that the general ever did.
That is Jingliu, the previous
Jingliu.
sword champion of the Xianzhou Loufu. She was the closest friend of Imbibiter Lune, your previous incarnation.
Wow.
She was also the general's master.
Yeah, we know that part. But like, yeah, like that makes sense now. That's the friend that they came to see. Just so we can get the pronunciation right, by the way, let's just make sure we're just...
That is Jingliu.
Jingyu?
That is Jingliu,
Jingyu.
the previous sword
Jingyu.
champion.
Jingyu. Jingliu. 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 Beautiful name. But yeah, we know close friend of the previous incarnation, and was also the general's master. So like, closest friend of Imbibiter Lune, and the general. Yeah, there's so much like connection that she has here.
According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wing Weaver, the father wolf of the Borazin, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single
Jesus.
strike from her. She's a renowned legend.
Yeah, and like we saw how like strong she was in the battle with Yingxing.
However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara.
Oh.
It is said that in the end, Jingliu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds.
Wow, so because of the Mara, she started slaughtering people?
With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in.
Is that Luocha? Right? Luocha was a traveling merchant, right?
Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jing Yuan actually agreed.
Yeah, and isn't the last time we saw Jingliu was when they were in the room with Luocha and Jin Yuan, and she was saying that we have to like pick the right side, right, in this battle that's coming up.
Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jingliu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
I love that how like it's confusing for them because those things are both the same today. Kingsu suddenly stops talking like her. You perceive a chill settling in the air around you.
Imbibiter Lune.
Oh my God.
You're here.
Right, just not even mentioning Don Fong or anything, just saying Imbibiter Lune.
Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Don Heng.
And it's interesting as well because like that's it. Like she obviously doesn't even see it as like a thing where it's like, like you are this in the past life. You are this. This is who you are now, right? I know who you are now, but I still want to talk to him in Imbibiter Lune, right? It's not about her being like I want to talk to Don Fong. It's not about her being I want to talk to Don Heng. It's about I want to talk to like Lune, which is what Don Heng like that form is, right? Oh my dear lord. So if we just stand here, will she stop looking at us? Like,
Master Don Heng, she's asking for you specifically.
Yeah.
Be careful. Don't underestimate
Oh, I know how tough she is. I know how tough she is. Yeah, because it's interesting because, like, I was thinking, like it adds a different dynamic because I feel like everyone's been like, oh, Don Fong's my old friend. Like, how would you see Don Fong? Don Fong was the one who, like, who hurt us. Don Fong was the one who should be up for trial. But it's interesting from Jingliu's perspective where she's like, no, like, I know you're Don Hong. I know that's your current version of yourself. I'm not here to see, you know, the versions of yourself. I'm here, I guess, to see in the Imbibitor Lunae what the Imbibitor Lunae is. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. We'll see more, though.
When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the shackling
Jesus,
prison.
man.
I thought Imbibitor Lunae had been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
Man, like, can you just imagine, like, her looking at, like, from a distance and seeing the waters being, like, split open? I remember you, but barely. My past life is over?
The life of Imbibitor Lunae ended. I stand before you, a completely different person.
I understand. The sins of a past life should be forgiven after rebirth.
I love you.
Now you are a nameless, traveling across the galaxy. But can anyone really bid farewell to their past?
What we've learned, and here's the thing, I love Jingliu's the way she says this, like, right? It's like, yeah, it should be forgiven after rebirth. You were a different person now, you're doing something different, even acknowledging that you were Don Hong, right? But also, like, what we've learned on this freaking ship is that even though we've been pardoned, even though a lot of people acknowledge we're Don Hong now, a lot of people don't see it that way.
If my guess is correct, the preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end and hoped for the Imbibitor Lunae's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the molting rebirth and turned you into what you are now.
So we heard about the molting rebirth, right? In Don Hong's last quest. So, but here we're saying as well that the preceptors, like, tampered with it. And that's what turned us into this now. Tell me while you're here, you want to make Imbibitor Lunae pay for what they've done? Do you also wish to restore the High Elder succession? Tell me while you're here, yeah.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
She's such an interesting character, right? She's such an interesting character. I think, like, you know, writing-wise, to have a character who knew Imbibitor Lunae back then and just, like, instantly call us, like, Don Hong changes things instantly. It's a different approach to, like, how they approach the Lunae.
You didn't hear? That Videodora girl explained it clear as day.
Oh?
I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins.
For real? For real?
I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends and to fulfill promises I made long ago.
Right, so do we count as that?
Jingyuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
Seems so.
That's right.
In the meantime?
The sea's depths
Luocha!
conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon.
Gorgeous.
The scenery of Scale Gorge waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe.
I love that, like, we're getting, like, maybe like maybe not just a continuation, but like a pickup from these characters, because the last time we saw them was in that crazy cutscene, right?
But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
He's being so cheeky as well, right? So this is like that confirms it. This is what they were saying, the traveling merchant, or someone posing as a traveling merchant, right?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial.
Oh dear lord.
Here.
Oh dear lord. I wondered, yeah, they probably think that he brought the Stellar on him, right?
For security purposes. I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator.
Right.
According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place.
Could you say though, could Don Heng give some evidence to say that, like, hey, the reason why we didn't make a trade on that day was probably because, you know, the trio was traveling together, you know, Sushang, Luocha, Don Heng, they were getting into trouble.
You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender.
Oh, so he just outright just... Interesting. So it's not a situation of like just blaming him for no reason? He's putting up his hand to say it was me.
Your behavior truly is puzzling.
Yeah.
I can't seem to piece together your moves.
Makes him such an interesting character though, right?
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for.
That first line, is he saying that he didn't know it was a Stellaron and when he brought it here?
It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Man, it's so like... Even though like this is like one of the most like polite, you know, pre-trials and interrogations I've ever seen in my life, there's like such attention to this.
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Luocha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress?
Please remind me.
And the Shroud Veil Stars?
Remind me.
Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
What tongue? What? Say it.
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
He's so calm and collected though, isn't he?
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Loufu for a joint trial before the 10 Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge waterscape. It will be the last view of the Luofu you ever lay eyes
So
on.
wait. So he's saying that, like, I can't just defend you like that because, like, you know, what happened is a crime. So who's he getting help with? The 10 Lords Commission, okay, and the 7 Arbiter Generals, okay. Yeah, and the last part's fine. Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to make sure, like, you know, that I'm... And again, you guys said you don't mind this, so we're just going to look over every single line we can. It's interesting that, like, he's saying, like, hey, like, you can look upon this and be like, this is the last view you've ever seen. And then Jingliu also wants to, like, you know, see this as well, right?
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago.
High Cloud Quintet.
The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Luocha Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Baiheng, the divine weapons crafted by the Jingliu artisan Yingxing, and the unmatched stratagem of the general.
So, the sword techniques of Jingliu, right?
The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world,
Whoa.
creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever.
Right, okay.
And the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate
They might have
ways.
mentioned High Cloud Quintet in the past 100%, but like there's so many terms here that I don't feel bad about if I ever miss stuff. So Jingliu, I keep getting the name wrong. Jingliu, Donfang, Baiheng, Yingxing, and the General are the quintet. That's the 5, and they would like vanquish evil from the world, leaving, creating legendary tales. But they all went their separate ways. So this is like not only just like a personal thing between everyone. They were like a well-known like group of people.
You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard.
Very smart from Luocha, right? Very smart.
You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now.
Oh my god.
Your master, Jingliu.
Jingliu, oh my god. They are doing this so, oh my god, the direction of this is so good. So he wants to know about her. He wants to hear about her. He wants to discuss
we
her.
can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories. Enjoy a glass of wine and reminisce about the good times.
Unironically, I would love to enjoy like a cup of coffee with Jingliu, right? 110%.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful
I
tourist.
think she's fantastic. Look at the way, look at her dialogue even, right? You know what I mean? Like what type of person when they're like being escorted by guards around the place? Someone makes like a joke, which it is kind of like one of those like, you know, jokes that like you would make when you like it, that you see like a TV show, like when they have someone, you know, captive. You think you can just watch free, wander around the place? It's like, yeah, I'm pretty good at wandering, you know. In this case, it's like I'm a pretty good tourist, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't even try Yangxing. I wouldn't even try.
Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my
Such an
request.
interesting quest so far. Holy freaking hell.
Imbibitor Luné, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer. Regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life, accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Obviously, it's up to Don Heng, but quest-wise, like, I could not pass this up.
Lead the way.
This is going to be so interesting. Yeah, and the direction is just fantastic.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first? Or to the Artisanship
Where do you want to
Commission?
go?
So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
So as you get older and you're living for so long, like the burdens you carry become heavier and heavier?
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem
See what I mean? I love the Yingxing is like very much like all about like, look, protocol, let's get it done. Come on.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
I love Jingliu would be like, man, the younger the antidote, and like the complexion of an angel who's done skincare every single day for the rest of their whole life.
If it's starskiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Before we go any further, I just want to say, like, when I was talking about direction in this quest so far, I adore what they like are doing with this. First of all, like, it's just such an interesting quest. The idea that like on one side you have Don Heng and, you know, Yangxing and Jingliu, like, look at this image after what happened last time. Having these characters all together just like legitimately like you know, like on this like little quest to go on a tour of like this Xianzhou is so interesting. And like honestly, like it's way more interesting than like what you could do, which is like, you know, Jingliu shows up and then her and Yingxing have another fight. Like there's more tension in this. There's more interest and intrigue in this. It makes Jingliu like such an interesting character. It makes Yingxing even more interesting. Well, it makes Dan Heng so interesting as well. Even though we already found them to be interesting characters, like it's just a very interesting moment to have like 3 characters that like that. Let's be honest here. All 3 of them, in some way, were like, you know, Yingxing fought Jingliu, right? Dan Heng fought Yingxing as well. Like all 3 of them have been in combat. The only people, obviously, Dan Heng hasn't fought Jingliu, but there has been combat within this trio, right? You know, there has been a lot of combat with this trio. In fact, Jingliu tried to kill Yingxing, but still, it makes it so much more interesting. Instead of having another fight, which again, I'm sure we will have a fight at some point, but instead leading with the idea of like, let's go on a tour of the Xianzhou. I'm an honored guest now. I'm a prisoner and an honored guest. But I love also the direction of having like, you know, also on the other side, the general talking to Luocha in this way. Luocha kind of like almost like dressing him down in a way, kind of like, I know why you're doing this. I have an idea of why you're doing this. And making Luocha as well at the same time, a character who went from like this whimsical, really fun, smart character that we had to now being like, oh, there's like something else to him, right? There's like definitely something smarter and something deeper there. Something of like intrigue and of note there that like we didn't even find the first time around. And then they do the direction where it's like, we have the scenes with them Jingliu first. We get to like know why they might be here. We switch then to like Luocha basically admitting, hey, like owning up to the idea of like, hey, I think I brought the seller on here, and then Jingliu being like, I guess I don't think you're the one that's responsible for this, but I can't do anything about that. I have to put you on trial. And then at the end, in both a practical and like a story sense, Luocha being like, hey, you know, I know why you probably wanted me to be here. It's to do with your master, right? It's to do with one of the members of the quintet. And then instead of having Jingliu say anything at that moment, they cut back to Jingliu. Right? How freaking cool is that? Like, just, it's so like slick. It's so slick and cool.
Young man, have you ever heard of Baiheng, the foxy?
Was that one of the quintet that they were talking about? I think so, right?
Baiheng. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Baiheng? This name is unfamiliar to you. It looks no feelings, however the voice... Wait a second, could we have been doing this whole time, but I was just trying to block it out? This name is unfamiliar to you. It looks no feelings at all, however a voice inexplicably rings in your ears. Oh, we could have been doing this the whole time. Okay, we gotta try and remember the stuff, okay? We gotta try and remember the stuff. I didn't realize that's how it was gonna work.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Oh my god, we could have been doing this the whole time, I think. These little tidbits.
In Baiheng Luocha, if memories are returning to you, share them.
I can't remember anything. I only remember fragments, yeah.
I think she was one of
Right.
Luocha's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both in Baiheng Luocha and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
Huh? You mean the Foxy and Soul Soothing Ceremony?
Yes, the sending off
Wow.
of a starskiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day.
Interesting. Because, like, again, I feel like it's one of those situations where, like, they let us see it in the end of the last quest, right? The idea of, like, the last Trailblaze quest, the sending off of Xingyun, right? So we know what this is like. We know how beautiful this can be as well. And now we're finding out that, like, Jingliu, like, cares about this stuff, you know?
As for procuring a starskiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
So do you need our help? Is that it?
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing starskiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard.
Very, very cool, by the way. Just the way this whole thing is presented. So unique. What's my moves? Oh yeah, we can get you.
Careful.
We might as well like at least try to use, you know, Jingliu as much as possible, right? Holy freaking hell. Again, like especially with a master, like you know, that's where they're billing Jingliu, right? Is like a master swordswoman. A master swordswoman.
To guard and defend. Crush them.
A master sword user. The master of the sword. Okay, so let's try this a single target here. Yeah, even the footwork, you can see it there. The footwork is insane.
Pity, you chose the wrong.
I think that's one thing that, like, you know, I always think is really cool about, like, Hoyo games, actually, and they do this in Genshin as well. And it's not just, like, but they do obviously in different ways, like, you know, because there's different types of, like, combat experience and stuff like this. When it comes to, when it comes to, like, the characters in the game. But, you know, say, like, look at the footwork here as they move their sword. Like, look at that. Look at it. Like, because footwork matters just as much as using your wrist and your hand and your arm to get the proper positioning as well.
The moon shines on
That's pretty sick. Like that alone. And you can see it here as well, right? Like, look at that. Very different, right? So different. Like, elegant, controlled almost, you could say. Precise. You know, like, there's like an effectiveness to that as well. And then, like, of course, as well, we have, like, Sushang, who's, like, effective in different ways, right? Like, because she uses, like, a much bigger sword. But her moves are more, like, about, like, I guess, like, the impact of them as well. And I don't think there's, like, any one... It's like any sword user, right? Like, here as well. Look at that. It's, like, Luocha's trying to, like, be very direct, trying to get as much reach as possible here. Look at that with the legs spread across as well. He wants to do it at a distance. Jingliu is, like, you know, very precise, but will get very close. There's no problem just, like, slashing you up like this as well. Sushang has, like, a very, like, you know, brutal swing. But again, that's just as effective. But you have to see the different footwork that everyone has. She hits, lands on the right foot here to keep her balance as well, because it is such a heavy sword. But it works so well, you know? I love the way they do this. I love the way they pay attention to those details as well. It's so freaking cool. Over here. I tried to go over the fence. That would be me, though, doing it from beyond the fence.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here.
Look at this trio. Like, look at this.
Just enter the command into the device. The vessel used to cultivate starskiff seeds will be activated, and a ship will appear in the skyport soon after. I remember now. I've seen Baiheng's name in books before.
You like to read? I couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell?
Hey, I don't read much, but the general forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Starskiff. The author's name was Baiheng.
But as well, like, you actually, like, be like, hey, I can read, buddy. I can read. Because, like, what you said, like, hey, you could read, I couldn't tell. Which I feel like is, like, you know, probably a little bit of a jab. But, like, from Yingxing's perspective, like, you know, I do like that they're showing that throughout their training, they would have to read, like, you know, a lot of, like, theory about stuff like this as well. And Genuine ain't gonna let anyone off the hook with that stuff, too.
That's right. Baiheng was the one who wrote that
Very cool.
travelogue.
Very cool.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems.
Oh, so they were, like, documenting everything.
I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive.
Super interesting.
Her luck really was out of this
It's not just
world.
about, like, how many times you fall. It's like what you do with the time, you know. It's not about the hard times. It's what, like, it's what you do with the hard times that are given to you, I guess, is what they're talking about here.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines.
So just like a very lucky person.
Very few starskiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Starskiff Killer.
Love the nickname. Love it.
She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few Cloud Knights had the courage to accompany her on missions.
That's pretty crazy, right? Like she's super strong. She's super smart. She can predict the future. You know, and all this stuff. But like, even the Cloud Knights were like, I can't. I can't be the one to accompany her.
However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the
Honestly,
tide.
very cool to hear one of the other members of the quintet talk about the other members of the quintet, you know?
Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Starskiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
So, okay. So you're saying that like if you build a ship for them now, it will be lucky enough to return to the stars. Before long, the Starskiff Assembly line at Star Dobber. Yeah, I love the way they're doing this, right? I wonder if we're going to be going through like a lot of the members of the quintet here.
That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated.
I wonder.
The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't.
Oh my god, Yingxing's sweet voice as well. Yingxing's on official business here, you know?
Thank you, young man.
And like, Jingliu tried to like kill Yingxing, right? Now, not tried to kill him, wanted him to survive there. Like, legitimately wanted him to survive whatever was going to happen there, but like, you know, still did it anyway. And I feel like it did make him stronger. And like, while I'm not one of those people that's like, yeah, you have to like, someone has to try and kill you to make you stronger. I believe that you were strong despite the hard things that happened to you, not because of the hard things that happened to you. But I think in this case, like, that scene where she like tried to like do that move that already killed Yingxing, I think put a new perspective on life for him completely. He tried to use the move against Blade, right? Like, I think it was a huge part of his future training, honestly. Personally, I think so anyway.
See, the Starskiff is complete.
His little voice.
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
Man, they're really you know, doing a good job with this, like with Jingliu's connection to people of the quintet, right? It's really cool.
So, what happened to Baiheng in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. In Luocha, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
Battle against Shuhu? It was a bloody battle against the denizens of the Abundance. Well, should we try just to see if we can remember stuff?
The Abundance Emanator, Shuhu, rallied a great army and attacked the Alliance.
Okay.
I read about it.
So we're not always going to get a memory about it. This time it's about reading about it. Okay. So the Abundance Emanator, Shuhu, rallied against the great army. Okay.
You seem to be interested in learning about your past life.
Donald's interesting to learn about anything.
Still, all of that was erased. After Shuhu attacked the borders, he disappeared without a trace. There are no records of his remains either. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Baiheng, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow
So she believes that
Augur.
the luck was given to her by the Arbiter?
She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses. allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight.
Jesus, man.
We all shoulder a debt that we will never be able to
It's like a
repay.
self-sacrifice here, and obviously you would take that seriously, right? That's something you would never forget, like seeing someone like basically sacrifice themselves in order for like everyone else to succeed. Especially someone who like always returned from battle, right? Always got out of these sticky situations. For the moment that like led to victory in this sense, I guess, to be something that like led to their death as well, has to be so weird that like you're the ones that are coming out of this probably better off in the end now, compared to like now, you know, she's the one that's dying.
For the Cloud Knights, giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in Bybiter.
It's not something I personally believe in either, as Calvin.
You couldn't accept that Baiheng was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest, you decided to... You made a mistake that can never be undone.
Are we talking about resurrection here? Is that what we're talking about? Or an attempt at resurrection?
There is no need to respond, Imbibiter Lune. Your answer is no longer important. And now, I will send off this starskiff.
Jesus Christ. But I wonder if that's what the, like, again, we don't know what that, like, but we know that, like, Don Fong, like, was big into the idea of, like, the resurrection stuff and not the, or, like, changing the idea of resurrection, right? Not, like, what he was, like, I think we talked about the idea that he was, like, more into the idea of, like, reproduction, right? But I wonder what that was then. At least the starskiff.
Baiheng, I've brought your
Oh my
flagon.
god.
This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the chance to give it to you in person. I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares
So
be
she's been
calmed.
tormented by this idea for a while.
I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the sky.
So this is again showing like how connected she was to these people, at least Baiheng, but like how poetic and beautiful it is, but also like so determined. I will cut down the stars in the sky to fulfill this promise.
Let's go. The Artisanship Commission is next.
They are like bringing us along, right? Wow. It's always breathtaking every time I see it. It really is.
Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations. Even the Artisanship Commission's prized creation furnace is hanging on by a thread.
So she's saying that even like here, like the most protected things are even like getting destroyed.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived. That's how the creation furnace was saved.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Xianzhou's incompetence.
So is this the thing where we're literally just going to be hearing her perspective on like a lot of the quintet? Because then if that's the case, like, first of all, we got Baiheng, right? which is a character who was very lucky, who like would always come out on top no matter what the situation was, no matter how dire the situation was, and in the end sacrifice himself. So we're trying, like, if we're going to be going through like a lot of the members of the quintet, maybe we won't be going through all of them. I think I do definitely want to like make sure like we're recapping every one of them at the end, so we can like definitely at the end remember like as much as possible, right?
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life?
Look at Yingxing.
For the Cloud Knights to arrive.
Yingxing like stepping towards Jingliu as well. Two different perspectives
Where
here.
were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard,
Oh my god.
it was a group of outworlders that came to the rescue.
True. It was true.
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere at once.
But what we're getting here is two different perspectives, right? Because like again, like yeah, they had to do a lot. Like the Cloud Knights were like not only under like a lot of pressure, but like there was also like a devastating thing with the Maristruck happening. The Sanctus Medicus were like messing with everybody, you know?
Young man, why don't we continue
Oh my
our
God.
previous contest?
No way.
Show me whether the sword techniques you are so proud of have improved.
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
Yingxing kind of see intruder. So wait, she's saying that like what the answer? You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm going to grant endless requests for the criminal? I don't get the like full. I think maybe he's saying like even your request to fight you is a request I can't just like grant.
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the creation furnace.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
Wait, for real?
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Could it be that the abominations here aren't enough to motivate you?
So she's genuinely saying that she wants to like to fight alongside him, I guess.
The moon shines on the tree.
That's crazy what we can do with that. Look at the freeze in like an area of effect.
Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
So the same moves that Dongfeng had.
When I move, it's like
you never forgot.
Very, very cool. It's like nothing. Yeah, it's just like he hasn't even forgotten the moves that Dongfeng like used to fight with as well. Yeah, like, and by the way, we're talking about again when like Sushan gets to fight again.
Lend me your strength.
But like that's what I was talking about with like the brutality of like her hits, right? Because again, they're not as like these like precise like elegant hits. It's using a heavier like sword, like a claymore almost, and driving it into the enemy. But like because like they're able to use their balance so well, it makes the sword movement so effective and so tough. So awesome. In fact, we can actually show you here again. Look at this. Like look at when she regains her balance. I know like it's like something like maybe we don't need to focus on, but I just love focusing on all the stuff like this when it comes to like sword work as well. I'm not a sword user, by the way. I just love like checking this stuff out with movesets and stuff like that. She's always like regaining her balance by the end, but that's because I feel like she puts like 150% of her strength into everything. So she like overexerts, and not in a bad way. I feel like she like overexerts herself to make sure her hits are even tougher. Like look at this. Drags the sword along the ground, grabs her balance and wipes the sweat off the top of her head. To me, just very cool stuff. Let's go.
All will be revealed.
Let's go. Oh my god, and look at the big blade here. Oh my god, and the moon!
Flame.
That's the move that is that the move that she used towards Yingxing? Very cool, right?
Blade of moonlight.
Huh. And a blast? I did not realize we were gonna be doing that in there. That's so sick. That's so sick.
Come on already.
This little smile.
What took you so long this time?
You tell her, Yingxing.
Don't
That
be
is
anxious, Imbibitor Lunae. We have all the time in the
sure,
world.
100%. I'm willing to take my time with you. But I do think it's very like to me very cool. Like that framing there where Yangxing was standing up here being like, come on. It felt like very classic, like PS2, not in a bad way. Like it felt like a classic video game, you know, a character standing up on top of a platform being like, come on, slowpokes, you know, and you have to follow after them. I don't know why I got like the hint of nostalgia there.
The moon shines on the truth.
Show your courage. Show your courage.
Wrong button here.
Let's wait and see.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I literally was like, what's happening here?
This sphere still recognizes you as its master.
Wow.
Imbibitor Lunae. Do you know who crafted it for you?
Oh, answer, please.
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
What? So
An endless lifespan is just a bitter wait for
that weapon
insanity.
is like, it's almost like you're saying, a weapon like knows its master, right? A weapon knows where it's like where it's supposed to come back to, I guess. But what's so sick about the way that they're phrasing that there as well is that like he doesn't even know when he got this blade. It just naturally is a part of him now. Such a cool moveset here. Such a cool moveset.
Let me through, or I'll go through you.
Music's fantastic as well, isn't it?
Die. This! Take this! Shape of the rise, Venus!
Yeah, very interesting relationship already as it pertains to the quintet stuff. I genuinely can't wait to like see more of this stuff. I think like we usually would like use Sushang here, but like I think it's probably good to like have more use here of Jingliu, because we're not gonna be like using them all the time, you know? Although if they do show up in the banner, they're mine. They are mine.
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Danfeng and have nothing to do with his sins. And you can keep insisting that you have forgotten everything.
And this is the debate where, and like again, I don't think anyone's wrong for thinking on the side of like, oh no, he should be responsible for the sins and stuff like this. But I don't think Jingliu is saying like you are like responsible in a way. It's like saying like you are like a part of those sins, right? And everyone's gonna see it this way. I still, for me personally, will never blame Danheng for that stuff, ever.
But you cannot run from combat, Danheng. Your spearmanship is identical to Imbibitor Lunae's.
I love this as well. It's like, hey, like, yeah, you can forget about all this other stuff. But look at the way you're moving now. Look, you can't deny that.
Combat is like smelting. Purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you.
Whoa.
Do you remember?
So, to read out the word again, I know I keep doing this, but I like to, so yeah, so purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature. So, you see a person's true self through their fighting skills, I guess, which is probably makes sense why she like so desperately wanted Yingxing to like, you know what's so freaking crazy? This is so freaking cool, right? This calls back to like the way Blade was fighting Yingxing and being like, oh, Jingliu's move, you know? Or how Jingliu was fighting Yingxing and being like, I see that the general's taught you some stuff, you know what I mean? And in this case, it's like, I see Danfeng in your movesets. You can't hide who you are or hide like your part of yourself because when you're doing combat, because combat is so like a part of you. It's almost like second nature. So interesting.
Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see someone so arrogant get along with someone so proud.
So this is one of the other quintet. Try hard to remember. I don't know which one will give us maybe some more interesting stuff. Should we say like just like his name? There we go. In your dreams, you see a man with an indistinct face standing arrogantly and reverently in front of the spear rack where the cloud piercer is placed.
This spear is sharp enough
Great
to
voice.
pierce dragon scales. Be careful, High Elder, lest you hurt yourself with it.
So cool. So cool. So this, it's interesting that Jingliu is the one that's like making Don Feng like remember a lot of the stuff that from Don Feng, right? It's making Don Feng remember the stuff from Don Feng.
You still remember his name.
So there's a lot of stuff that's in there that he's blocked out, I guess, as well.
When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him to travel across the stars to the Xianzhou to receive training. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old.
Wow.
The little brat was no less arrogant than the High Elder.
You know what's so cute about this is like, maybe cute's the wrong word, but even though it's like, oh, the little brat, right? There was a chuckle there. There's a chuckle of like still remembering it fondly, you know?
At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met again, he was able to craft weapons that astonished the master craftsman.
Holy hell.
He even snatched the Artisanship Commission title of Furnace Master. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission. He was only able to prove his worth alongside us outcasts in the end.
So it was through the quintet that he was finally able to show his true worth, even though he was like already had all this praise, already was a master craftsman. It took like a group of outcasts to really show off who he was. Man, that's so cool the way they're doing this. This is so neat. Learning about all these characters here in this way through the fond eyes of Jingliu, right? I can never pronounce it right. It's like Jingliu. I'm so sorry. If anyone wants to like space it, again, I probably, between this episode, I will probably like ask someone to just space it out. And it's not that like, it's like, I find it hard to like, I do find it hard to pronounce some names sometimes, especially like, you know, maybe, you know, come from, and you know, the pale Irishman that I am. But still like, I always want to try my best. And sometimes, you know, when you're talking for so long, like, you're gonna forget like if you pronounce it right, you know, half an hour ago. You know what I mean? It just will happen. But like I love the fondness that they talked about Baiheng, and now they talked about Yingxing as well. Like it is learning about these characters, learning about that quintet, and learning about that group of quote unquote heroes through the eyes of someone who has not forgotten. That almost in a way wants us to remember, right? It's actually very. I'm very fond of this. I'm very fond of this. I really am. Such a cool outfit.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
No, she wouldn't dream of it.
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply...
He senses a bit of sarcasm. Oh, he's so sweet.
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Again, that's I get it. I don't get like maybe not sarcasm, but maybe a little bit of like playfulness. You know, it's like, okay, you know, yeah, you've gotten so strong, you know? I love that like that's what their relationship is now. It's clear that like still at the same time she is like not gonna let off the idea of like wanting him to become a better swordsman.
Eavesdropping is a bad habit.
He's allowed.
Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Oh.
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
He became a long-life species?
He transformed into a long-life species?
How did this happen?
Correct. Such are the twists of destiny. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence, but make the most ill-advised choices at destiny's crossroads. As smart as he was, He made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid Imbibitor Luocha in resurrecting his deceased companion.
Is this what they did to try to, resurrect Baiheng?
His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated most.
That's intense, isn't it?
Irony.
That's so intense. The fact that, like, this is obviously done in a way to, like, out of love, to bring someone back that they definitely, like, cared about, right? That they definitely cared about in some way. And everyone clearly cared about them, right? They couldn't handle that they were gone. And I'm guessing it is for Baiheng, right? That's what it is for. And in the process was cursed themselves. The thing that they were trying to destroy is what they became.
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I think it's such a crazy story. The way that they're telling the story is so incredible.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
A second chance. Yeah.
What did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom.
What does that mean?
I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths.
Whoa.
To remind him of the karma of his previous life.
Whoa.
Afterward, I heard he was reborn and even gave himself a name.
How on earth does that happen even?
We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
Making him die 100 deaths, and then he gave himself a new name, and, like, he was reborn and gave himself a name. But I passed on my sword techniques to him. Very interesting. This is one... I can't believe, like, the companion quests in this game are this good. They're this good. This feels like a Trailblaze quest, right? Oh, we're back here. Great.
Of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the Abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
So to end the idea of immortality?
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded.
Interesting.
Take me, for example. My powers originate from the Abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead.
So is he saying that it's like, yeah, like, we have different opinions on the, like, we have different powers, and we emanate from different, like, origins, I guess, of our powers. But I'm able to look at past this, right? Like, I'm able to see that we both have the same values, at least, even if we have different powers, and my powers originate for the Abundance.
It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable, to be honest.
Man, and again, like the idea of like, yeah, most people would be like, I want to live forever, you know, I want to live forever. Now, personally, like, I think all of us, like, I think what Luocha's saying is like, yeah, the most of us right now, if we had a conversation, would you want to live forever? Everyone's probably going to be like, 99% of people are going to say no, right? Because we all know the horrors that this can bring. We all know that what this can do to people. It's so horrible, seeing people die around you. Obviously, if you said like, okay, all my family and friends are immortal too, it's like, oh, great, you know? We've seen what this can do. We've seen what this can do. But you don't know what you would answer when the question is actually posed to you in a situation where like maybe you need more time or you want more time, right? Like if you're someone who's like, you know, sick, or you're someone who like is you know, down in their luck or something, and like you think that you'd be able to accomplish more things if you got more time, would you change your answer in that sense from a no to a yes if it's right in front of you?
So, in order to sever Yao Shi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
What's the solution? What did she find?
I'm listening.
Oh God.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shu Ling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shu Ling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your true agenda.
So he wants to be arrested. He wants to stand before them.
And the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Oh my God, this is such a tense conversation. Luocha's like way better at this than I thought he would be. You know, I thought he was just gonna be a whimsical dude. You know, he's like way better at this than I thought he would be.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move. You've changed, John.
What? No. Here now?
The man
oh my God.
would never have admitted he was bested.
This is so freaking sick. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Look at the tree of these people. No. I mean, it's so... This is crazy. This is crazy. The way they're doing this in terms of the direction of this is fantastic. To have a cliffhanger in your own freaking companion quest that makes me just want to see... Oh, Bailu! That makes me want to see more of, like, everything.
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
My heart's pounding. Like, the idea that, like, in this quest, I could shout no, but then in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but I want to see what happens with Jingliu as well, and Baiheng. But it's like, I think they're doing such a good job with this. Right? It makes it there's a tension to it. There's a mystery to it. There's so many amazing characters here with such great dialogue that, like, all the time here, I'm just like, please show me more. And, like, it's weird as well that, like, there's no weaker parts, you know. It's like one of those things where it's like, it's not like, you know, because sometimes if you do an A and a B plot in a story or something like that, there's a TV show recently that did a subplot. I'm not that either of these is a subplot, right? But, you know, like, there's like a second plot, and sometimes it can be so like, oh, this is not very good, you know what I mean? Let's just focus on one of these things. The going back and forth between these two, like, different, you know, situations here, like, breathes such a life into this story and makes it so mysterious, makes like that, like, everything hang on like this tension and this thread. Like, it makes me like would so desperately want to know what's going on with everything. I want to learn about the quintet. I also want to know what's happening now with Blade there as well, with Jingliu and Luocha. So masterfully done.
I heard the healer lady is capable
Look
of
at
curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. For a checkup and consultation.
A checkup?
Patience, young man. We're not far from the Scale Gorge waterscape. The mission the General tasked you with is about to come to an end.
She's like, you're off the hook soon, don't worry. This is so cool. This is like so sick. Like this whole quest. Blade showing up and then, you know, saying that he didn't know like who Jinwen was now, I guess. Like this is not who you used to be like. I wonder if, and like I could be wrong about this, what if Blade was one of the members of the quintet? And Blade was the one that was given a new name? Because she said she passed down her sword techniques to someone. And that would make sense if she already passed her sword techniques to Blade, sorry, to Jingyuan, but Blade also knows her sword techniques as well. And we know that he is technically like cursed with Mara in some way, right? But then again, maybe that wouldn't make sense. We'll see. We'll see how that works. Because he does have that curse on him.
Heng, what a surprise! Are you?
Oh my god, what a sweetheart!
Well? Please come this way.
Absolute sweetheart. I'm not here for a checkup. She's here for a consultation.
Miss Bailu. She's here for a consultation.
Yeah, what an awkward thing to say, right?
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
She's not actually blind.
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience occasional night terrors. Do you have a way to soothe my mind, Dragon Lady?
Wow. And we know that like she talks about like getting away from the Mara before, right? Or not remembering the Mara, I guess.
Those symptoms don't sound like my area of expertise. Who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients.
Oh my god, sweetheart.
We'll start by checking your pulse.
Oh my god.
You'll need to take some translucent worms so I can take a closer look.
Take those translucent worms. No, honestly, like she's such a sweetheart. She really is.
Your hand! It's freezing!
Oh, look at the good look and concern on her face as well.
Please wait.
Oh.
Heng, can I speak to you for a
Is this
minute?
like when you bring like a kid to the doctors and then the doctor's like, wait, talk to me over here? Like, Jesus Christ.
Your friend here has a very peculiar condition.
And what is that condition?
Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would mean that she
won't live much longer? What?
She won't live much longer.
Are they genuinely gonna, like, kill her?
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis.
Yeah, let her, but like... Very cute, very cute.
Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. It feels like there's a dark current running and pulsing between her core esse and her veins.
Dark current.
I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the medical records. Can you and your friend come back for follow-up visits?
Decline directly, decline respectfully. We can't. Yeah, we just can't.
Today's her last day.
Yeah, we just can't.
Luofu.
And poor Bailu wanting to help out.
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be able to figure out how to cure her.
Bailu.
I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of warm water from this point on.
Oh, give him a little diagnosis as well. The doctor's diagnosis or the doctor's
I'll prescribe
request.
her some soul-returning vitality infusion. It won't cure her, but I'll... Wait! Where did my big medicine box go?
Did someone take it?
I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things have been a mess around here. Heng, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine?
Yeah.
I could use your skills.
Literally no problem whatsoever.
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady? I'll come along as well.
Look at Yingxing. He's like, oh my god, the job was almost over. This is literally the equivalent of like you're closing up the restaurant or you get ready to close the restaurant and someone shows up at like 8:50 before 9, you know?
No. No trouble at all.
Which, by the way, I think is like absolute
It's no bother.
bullcrap.
A little walk will do me good.
Not this, by the way. I'm saying like someone showed up at 8:50. If the restaurant close time is 9, you don't show up at 8:50.
I can smell the herbs. It's around. Hey! Give me back my medicine box!
Wait, this creature?
That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away!
No, I got it. No, I got it. The poor thing glitched out and I got it. Oh, it's one of these guys. The poor thing definitely glitched out and I got it.
There's an even bigger monster protecting this one!
Yeah, we've seen this type of creature before, right?
When did so many creatures start visiting the alchemy?
Don't worry about it. We got this. We got this.
Careful.
We got this.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stand back. The chill of my sword freezes everything in its path.
Man, honestly, I wish I had Jingliu like solving my problems. You know? But then again, like, you know,
Soon to be departed.
while we like in terms of like my job, my problems are usually like, man, I messed up this edit. Yeah, I wouldn't mind her having Jingliu like solve my issues, to be honest. But then again, like the issues of my job are very different from the issues of Bailu's job. You know, man, I messed up this edit. I have to like re-edit everything. Don't worry, Calvin, also known as Romer. I will freeze your computer. No, please don't. Your computer will never bother you again. Okay, it doesn't help, but thank you.
Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead return!
All will be revealed.
Can you imagine like you're like a workplace and someone's being mean to
In
you?
lunar flame.
And then they're like, okay, and you just get up from the lunch table, or whatever you call it, the break room table. You stand up, leave the place, and then you go, it's like, where's...
So this is why your hands are so cold!
Oh, Bailu. It's like, why is Janine leaving the break room? Janine says Janine just went home. Oh, Janine's back. Who's that with Janine? Why do they look like a battle princess from like a fantasy novel?
Lend me your strength.
Jingliu is standing at the counter. Is Marcus here? I think he's on break right now. Okay, I'll wait. Do you need me to leave a message?
This cold isn't something normal flesh could withstand.
Oh, so it's the idea like this, like no one should be able to wield this type of cold. That's pretty freaking sick. That is sick, in fairness.
Bloom. Repay.
The way our team is set up, by the way, with Sushang and Bronya, I actually rarely get to use like a lot of the other characters, but I think, you know, this team is very good for getting through things.
Let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long.
You're too good. You're too good. But yeah, like I think that, like, you know, for boss battles it's a really good team. It's a really good team for boss battles for one enemy. And I think with Sushang's ability with Bronya, like you can remove a lot of enemies at once too. It's just that, like, you know, Luocha doesn't get to like do stuff in every battle, which is okay. You know what I mean? Luocha's there to heal, support. Same with Hanya. There to support and heal.
Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your body and calm your mind.
So learning that, like, you know, the ice that Jingliu uses is like literally so cold that even a normal person shouldn't be able to wield it. So it's not like the same as, like, you know, another cryo type of character, ice character.
Very well. The fate of a long-life species is inevitable, even with the best doctors.
You're Mara-struck?
This is why she was...
I don't see the symptoms in you at all.
They said come back from Mara.
With the incident on the Luofu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or frightening physical mutations.
But you don't see this here with and I wonder if it is like a psychological thing, the way they've been able to look away from what happened in their past.
You don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in
deal.
me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind is already at its limit.
Oh, man. So she made a deal to retain what life is left in her, and like, but at this point, like, it's her mind is almost gone.
And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes and plenty of unfinished business.
I don't want this character to ever go. Like, they're so interesting.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Is that because Mara, like, a lot of it has to do with the idea of like someone's memories being like tormented and like awful? So if you're able to, like, you know, forget those memories, would your symptoms, regress?
Really? How unfortunate.
Oh my god.
My hatred overshadows
Oh my god.
other emotions. I chose to hold on to it, to embrace it, and to use it to maintain my existence. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void.
Every single line that she says is one of like the most like heart-wrenching, but like, I don't want to say sick, like in a cool way, right? It's just because it's just more just like the dialogue is always so interesting and deep. And even like this type of thing where there's so much like passion in this line too. Like, all I have left is the sword in my hand and the hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void. Can you imagine anyone saying this? And it fits perfectly with this character. I believe them, you know? All I have left is the sword in my hand and the hatred of my past. And that's why they have the blindfold on, right?
Thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has provided more healing than any kind of medicine or remedy.
That's beautiful.
By the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you notice a person in bandages?
Bandages? That's a vague description.
Bandages,
you know.
yeah.
I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for treatment, and the number of injuries we see has skyrocketed since the Ambrosia Arbor crisis.
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression.
Blade, right?
He also carries a crude sword with him at all
This is Blade.
times. Have you seen someone like
Is
that,
it Blade?
Dragon Lady?
Because Blade has the bandage on his hand, right? Is it Blade?
Oh, yes! Someone came by today that matches that description. He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood, though from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor. He didn't even take the medicine I prescribed.
He's probably looking for a different kind of medicine. Well then, it would seem that everything is in place.
Oh my god.
Let's go meet our old friend.
I'm thinking, my mind is towards Blade. Oh my god, here we go. My mind is towards Blade, right? The idea of it being Wait, we're just here? The dovetail of these two stories. It's Blade.
Take this man away. This does not involve
Luocha?
him.
Yingxing.
So freaking cool. All like the politics and like the interpersonal relationships and all this stuff.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the
It is, yep,
High
okay.
Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years.
Holy hell. So does that mean Blade is Yingxing? Right? That must be what it is. He was given a new name. He died 100 deaths. He has the bandages on him, right?
If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share
Wow,
a
a
drink.
very sentimental idea as well. You know, he is 100% Yingxing because all that's left is Lune, right? Who's already here, right? And Baiheng is like the one who they just like, she sent off with the starskiff, right? Man, this is so freaking cool. This is like one of this, how they made this like even cooler than like I could have even inspected, right? So we have Lune here. We have Jingliu. We have Jinyuan, and we have Blade, who is Yingxing, I'm guessing, right? That's what it was, right? It was Yingxing, I think. And the only one who's not here is Baiheng, but she was sent off just today. Holy hell, man!
How
Look at
sad
this!
that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty
Whew.
while the world continues to turn. Some of
Gorgeous.
us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals,
Donfeng?
while others can no longer fulfill their promises.
Wait,
And in the end, our friendship is no more.
she takes this so seriously, but like look at this. So some of us have been reborn. Could that mean? Wait a second. No. The reborn is Don Heng, right? No? And denied death, is that either her or Blade? Because Blade has immortality, right? Some have become criminals. You could say that again. You could say that about 3 of these characters. You know what I mean? In a way. While others can no longer fulfill their promises. Again, that could be something, a promise she has or Jinyuan. Right?
Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me.
No way.
This is why I sent out the invitations before departing.
No.
Hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell.
It's actually quite beautiful, right? It actually is quite beautiful. But does that mean she sent Blade an invitation as well?
Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price.
Is that what Blade said before?
Imbibitor Lune, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection.
Oh my god.
Begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the
Oh my god, was this is what they're saying with Baiheng, right?
Yingxing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the abundance emanator to assist in Lune in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination.
Yeah, so he's Yingxing, but like, Jesus Christ. We already, like, we knew this, right? We knew this at this point. But like the way she's laying this out. And the third?
As for Jingliu, the
Jingliu.
sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her own.
So she's one of the 3 sinners as well, like the sinners in this sense as well. Holy freaking hell, the way she's laying this out. This is perfect. My heart is pounding and I'm like breathing heavily right now. By the way, as well, just want to say, like, I think they all pronounce Jingliu in some different ways, so maybe you guys can tell me the exact way.
As for Jingliu,
Because I heard Jingliu, you know, so maybe I got it right the first time.
now it is time
We pay, she says.
For what we have done.
You're not... Don Heng, get out of here. Right now, please.
Don Heng, You can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Luné. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward.
Oh, my baby.
Until you meet your eventual
No,
doom.
he has March, who's the sun, and Stell, who is a beautiful parasol that will block out this shade.
Blade. What a fitting name.
I know the sun brings the shade, but you know what I mean.
In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death.
Jesus Christ.
All the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Yingxing's regrets.
So like endless suffering. Endless suffering. Experience your death over and over? This is brutal. This went from like a very beautiful reunion to be like very, you know, heart-wrenching, very painful very quickly.
And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price.
What's the worst price?
That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading.
She doesn't want anyone to forget what happened. She doesn't want anyone to. She doesn't want to forget what happened.
High Cloud Quintet.
Look at this.
It is time to say goodbye.
This is incredible. Wait, what? Wait. Just casually? Where's Don Hung? Where's Don Hung? Is he around here? Where is he? Because if I'm gonna talk to Blade first, but I also want to talk to Don Hung if he's around. I imagine he'd want to keep it a little bit separate from everybody, right? Unless we're technically Don Hung. Actually, I forgot. Sorry, we are Don Hung. It's incredible. So, if I'm getting this right, what she's saying is that because they tried to revive Baiheng, both this is a punishment that has to be remembered. This is a pain. The pain that you caused and the crime that you committed cannot be forgotten. What you did won't be forgotten and shouldn't be forgotten. And the crimes are, Donfang tried to bring back Baiheng through the means of reincarnation, and in the process messed it up horribly. On the side of this thing as well, Blade, who was once Yingxing, also tried to help with this as well, being an accomplice to the evil, quote-unquote evil that Don Feng was doing. Again, I'm using her words. And Jinglui's, Jinglui's crime was the slaughter that she committed before she left. But she still didn't say what like the worst crime would be, because she's gonna be locked up. But she didn't say what the worst crime would be. And her punishments for everybody is she's gonna be locked up and she's gonna have a worse punishment. Blade is gonna have to die over and over again, it seems, or has died over and over again, and will remember those deaths over and over again, and will never be free from that. And no matter what, Don Hung will have to remember what Don Feng did for the rest of his life. And she said, you will live in that shadow. You will live in it. This is a crazy, crazy turn of events. Blade looks coldly at you. Oh yeah, Blade doesn't like us at all. Blade does not like us at all. Blade's so cool though. I am a big supporter of the ideas of the sins of the past not being passed on to the future. I'm a big supporter of this. You guys know this at this point, what my opinion on that is, right? That doesn't change the fact that this is like an unbelievably cool story. It's not one of those things where I'm gonna be like, I disagree with you, Jingliu, you were wrong. You know what I mean? Like, cause you know, at this point, everyone knows my opinion on like the idea of like, I'm not gonna put crimes on Don Hung. I'm not gonna do it. It's not happening for me. But what the perspective is here from the quintet is that I believe, anyway, what I'm getting here is that she doesn't want it to be forgotten because she believes that these crimes are so horrible that they should not be forgotten. That they don't deserve to forget their crimes. At least that's what I'm getting from it. And I could be wrong about that too. Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
A wineless gathering. accompanied by only sadness and
You described it better than I did.
bitterness. What a depressing
It went from a reunion that I was like so excited to see to a feeling of bitterness. Perfect word to describe it. Bitter. This game does like that feeling very well here. You know what I mean? There's a feeling. There is a feeling of how good was it as well that in the whole scene of Jingliu speaking to everybody, that she didn't once. How do I describe it? Like she didn't like no one else kind of spoke. Everyone else just listened. No one said like, wait a second, don't talk with. They're all like almost like in awe, or like, no, I don't think it's fear. Maybe it is fear, but this kind of like, just let her speak. Let her say what she has to say. No one interrupted.
Jingyuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
Which is what Luocha wanted to be sent to, right?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuchi.
And also, like, I think they did such a good job with the writing in this that had, instead of having Jingliu just like say like, you know, punish like every member of the quintet for some, because you could have done that, it would have been a cool story too, right? Everyone has a sin. But I do think it's beautiful that they showed Jingliu being like, I loved Baiheng, and Baiheng was a beautiful person, and I wanted to make sure we honored them in any way I could, right? And it's almost like that love, like that that doubles the pain of someone trying to, like, I guess, resurrect them and, you know, committing a crime in that way as well. Because it does show two things, the love for Baiheng, but also at the same time shows that Jingliu isn't just like someone who like has this like hatred for the quintet. Obviously like loved them very much, obviously cared about them, and referred to them as outcasts who found their path amongst each other, right? You have to care about people in that sense by talking about them in that way. I think it's such a good idea to show how much she cares beforehand, before showing like this kind of like bitterness, right?
I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-light reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the two of you beforehand.
Jingyuan, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy the plans of others.
A walking spanner in the works, I guess.
But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods.
Wow.
I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path.
Her voice is getting so shaky as well. Like the idea of like, you know, and I kind of agree with what she's saying in this sense, where it's like the Aeons do treat everyone like ants. They're you know, I said this in like, we did a Q&A that's going to be that releases this week actually, where I answered a question on who my favorite Aeons were, and a part of it's like, I think the Aeons are cool, but I also have like a kind of a disdain for them sometimes. And like, I love that there's characters that are like this, that are kind of like, I am totally sick of the idea of having to like be a pawn, to be an ant in this like, you know, ant farm that the Aeons have like, you know, watched over.
No matter. I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Is this adding to the idea of what you said, we have to pick the right side?
Then I shall see this gamble through.
This is so incredible. This is so incredible.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
My due?
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess.
Oh, he wants to deal with the immortality.
That can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
The flesh of an emanator, by the way. And is she saying that, like, Destiny's Slave? Like, Destiny's Slave is that Elio? Because he's the one who's, like, always talking about, like, or, like, he's the one who's, like, always, like, focusing on the paths and stuff like that. And they said Emanator as well. That was something we learned at the start of the game, right? When we were talking to... Was it Himiko we were talking to? Isn't like an Emanator... Like... I might have to look up after, but I think it was a thing that was like super connected, I think. Like it was almost like directly connected to like eons, right? So is that what he is?
Dead. But you still owe me the attempt.
So like it's like the idea that they're like directly like linked to the eons. So Blade has the flesh of an Emanator.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested.
Oh dear Lord.
Drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be
So he wants to
slaughtered.
die. He wants death. He wants the end of this.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Huh?
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death.
That's crazy that like dying is actually like a reprieve for Blade. Right? Oh my god, what?
We were here once.
What?
700 years ago.
No way. We're gonna see Blade versus Jingliu.
Sparring and thinking about the future.
Is that the Mara as well? No way!
Their faces
You could barely see it for a second.
before my eyes. Like
Oh.
a bygone dream.
Oh my god. Oh no. What are they showing here? Stop.
I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us.
Stop. Oh my
Like
god.
a Xianzhou lifetime.
He cut off her freak.
Yet dreams will eventually
Oh my god, her eyes.
like clouds
They're so
in the
pretty.
sky.
Stop. That's Baiheng. That was Baiheng. Holy freaking hell.
A familiar feeling.
Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was such a beautiful cutscene.
Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson.
I have chills all over.
You used the sword Yingxing crafted.
Jesus Christ, look at that.
Pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again.
Look at all the scars.
The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored.
Jesus. What a horrible feeling.
It's as if they're saying,
Why?
why did you and Imbibitor Luocha commit such an unforgivable sin?
Reminded of the sin over and over and over and over and over and over again.
I know that you have no interest in my answer,
Are we gonna get an answer?
which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but
Jesus.
was never able to find the answer. Why?
Oh.
Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again?
I am like tearing the F up. Holy hell. Look at this. There's Baiheng, Jingliu, and look, did you ever see that look on her face? And of course there's just so much passion that comes through the eyes, right? For sure. And she said she wished these times would last forever. She thought they would.
Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash,
Baiheng?
and eventually forgotten? Why?
So is it he thought that she would be forgotten, that's why he did this?
In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave.
This is insane.
The miraculous thing is that in my brief
oh my
moment
god.
of death, all the pain went away.
He feels relief in death. It's the only moments he feels relief.
Like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Oh my. He describes the feeling of dying as the same great feeling as when they all drank together. Look how happy they were together. Holy freaking hell. And he's back again. That moment of relief is gone already. Jesus, what a scene. Heart-wrenching, heartbreaking. Oh, Blade. Why am I'm tearing up seeing Blade's anguished face. This group, they all had to go through so much suffering. And yes, they imparted suffering on other people. I know this. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? I know this. But it's not going to change the fact that, like, these were 5 people who cared about each other so much, who lived for each other, who found each other, who were outcasts. Holy hell. They found each other when no one else would. And in the end, it seems what Blade wanted was for Baiheng to not ever be forgotten. And I say that's the same with Jingliu. While it's a sin you should not commit, right? I still think it's so beautiful that, like, they want to, and it's the same thing that, like, Jingliu said. I thought these times would last forever, and I bet everyone did. I bet everyone thought these times would last forever. And they didn't want to live this life without Baiheng here sharing a drink with them. They didn't want that. And while I think it is a sin to try and do that, the idea of resurrection in that way, I know it is. It's still such a beautiful idea that Blade just didn't want this person to be forgotten. That I'm guessing the same with Jingliu didn't want this person to be forgotten. And then it's kind of like maybe ironic that Jingliu has then spent all this time making sure people don't forget everything. Not Jingliu, sorry, Don Fong. Why am I saying poor Jingliu getting, painted with these brushes? Jingliu saying, why you say that for? Such a beautiful sequence. I'm actually gonna save this here, maybe the last like 15 minutes, just so we can watch that clip again, maybe at the end for a bit, because it was incredible. The quintet is one of the most beautiful things they've shown in this game. We also learned for this thing as well, we're going to talk about more in the end, of course, as well, like the idea of Blade's flesh being the same of an emanator that can't be killed. Every time he's cut and he's hurt, it's like someone asking him the same question as Jingliu asked, why would you commit such a crime? And whenever he dies, he feels a moment of happiness, and he compares dying to the feeling of being with everyone. That's so sad. Let's talk to everyone before we talk to Jingliu here. We can't. No one wants to talk, and honestly, makes sense. You are such a beautiful character. And this time, for once, guys, we're talking about the inside of a character, you know what I mean? We talk about their personalities a lot, we do, but I think so. I just have to make that clear, because like I do think Blade is a handsome character as well. This is one of the most amazing quests ever. It's so incredible. So incredible. Whew.
In Baiheng Luocha, what do you plan on doing next?
I'm going to return to the Express. That's our home.
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
Yep.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own. just as we did back then.
And I think she's probably saying as well that, like, you know, these times won't last as well. Which, you know, it's something that you probably shouldn't think about in the moment, but she's not wrong when she says this in a way too, right? But I do think that, like, if Stell and March heard her say this, they would literally, like, I think physically pick up Dan Heng just to show a representation of, like, hey, we will carry his burdens. You know? We will help him.
I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day.
Always on her mind, never able to forget this.
In my ear.
Yeah. Something that bothered her so much. She tried to move on, just like other people tried to. But no one was able to. No one was able to. Blade wasn't able to. Blade's reminded us of this every day. Dan Heng was having nightmares, you know, from Dan Feng. Jin Yuan, you think Jin Yuan forgot about this? No way, no one forgot about it. They tried to move on, but they couldn't.
The memories of what I did when I was Mara struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head on in the end.
And the crime she committed was when she was, like, Mara struck, man. And the fact that, like, what a character to still blame themselves for that as well, you know?
Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Yingxing will find true release. Goodbye, Inhibitor Lune.
Again, this is why I think she still does care. I don't think she wants them to suffer forever. Right? But she did lay out the crimes that they committed, that all of them committed. Bid farewell? She's such an interesting character, isn't she? Such an interesting character.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another.
Oh my god, that hit me freaking hard. Holy hell. I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. That's the thing from his perspective, right? Seeing the people he used to care about so much still fighting each other. Holy hell. Should I respond for Dan Feng's action? I'm still saying no.
Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to.
You beautiful man.
Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth.
I have to go.
Yes. It has been a long day for you, Dan Heng.
Him even saying the name Dan Heng, man. I know it's something small. That's his name. That's who he is. That's his name. But from the perspective of the general saying this, it means so much to me. How are you, little dude? And I agree with what the general said there.
Dan Heng, the general wants me to forget about everything I saw today.
I know that's hard for you. He's just trying to protect you 100%. This is something that, you know, getting into the weeds of this is very difficult.
I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. Swordplay is a lot simpler.
You'll have I'm guessing you will have a lot of these in the future. I 100% believe you'll have a lot of these in the future.
I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we fall out the way you guys did?
This is so emotional. This is hitting me so hard in so many ways. The fact that this young kid is asking this as well, right? Because he's seen what can happen. And the best answer I would give to anyone is like, don't think about it. Just enjoy the times you have now. I have to go.
Goodbye for now, Dan Heng. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under happier circumstances.
You're amazing, Yingxing. You really are. And geez, what a conversation this is going to be as well. I think it's so interesting to have, like, such great writing to have Yingxing there as well, as someone, like, as a representation almost of, like, an outsider looking in on this argument, seeing, like, oh, is this how friends will eventually end up? But I just don't think you can compare it. I think what happened with the quintet is tragic, and I think it's horrible that they continually will beat themselves up about this forever. Like, and it all stemmed from a love for each other, which is crazy, you know? It's so crazy. The love for each other, and I'll talk about more at the end, but I really feel like that's what their relationship they all have now is where that all stemmed from.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it.
He wanted her to do it. Blade looks coldly at you.
We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
Just give up? I don't think saying that to him is going to help at all.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now.
For now?
I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting.
He's saying I can't kill you until later. We can't go on the other path yet. There is a path where he does kill Don. What? Why did they have to call it family? Right? Holy hell. Is everything okay, Don Heng? Stella and I heard you received an anonymous letter and we were worried, so we came here to check on you. But you weren't in the archives. Did that poker face Stellar Hunter blade give you trouble again? I'm okay. I stepped away to enjoy the view. That's a relief then. By the way, don't forget to head back to the Speciality. Hibiko said she made coffee for us. Bent but unbroken. Okay. Oh, they saw this as like a trial. Click this anyway. This went from being like one of the most like tense and interesting quests to being one of the most emotional quests that I've seen in this game. This is a story like wait. So I think we're gonna be Stell until we leave this. Oh, we're still in the Distress. I forgot about this. Yeah. This is a story of 5 friends who were outcasts, who found each other and found a place they belong amongst each other. Jingliu, Blade, Baiheng, Jingliu, and Donfang. And I guess if we're saying Donfang and not Donheng, we're gonna say the same thing at Yingxing, right? Yingxing. That was the 5 that amongst each other. They loved each other. They cared about each other. They loved spending time with each other. They talked about each other. They talked to each other. They had such a great life with each other. But Baiheng died in battle, saving everybody else. She sacrificed herself to save everybody. And that is what probably led, I think, a little bit to the feelings of that both Donfang and Yingxing had, where they both thought to themselves, how can someone so amazing ever be forgotten? So the idea came to bring her back to life, to resurrect her. In the process, I think it said create an abomination. But this was a crime that Donfang committed and Blade and Yingxing committed as well. their punishments for this, I think, aren't as equal as you would expect. But again, you can't expect Dan Heng to have an equal punishment to poor Blade, because obviously it's Dan Heng, not Dan Feng. But it's the same thing if you see with Blade being, given a new name and new life as well. They're carrying on the burdens of a past life, And what Blade has to go through on a daily basis, I wouldn't wish upon anybody. I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. And is it bad to say that I just wanted to give him a hug? That's all I wanted. But I couldn't. I think that in this story, I'm sorry, I just came back after this. I think this story is a story of like burdens, right? And burdens that people have to hold upon themselves as well. And it was a beautiful story. Jingliu talking about the people that she slaughtered. Dan Heng is walking in the shadow of Dan Feng. Blade living with like the horrors of that thing that him and Dan Feng did together. And Jin Yuan, I think, carrying the pain of knowing that his friends will never be together again. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the pain that he holds with himself as well. The love that they have for each other and for Baiheng, it feels like what led to all their situations in a way. Their love for each other. There was a quote there which was like from Blade, which was beautiful, which was, it's unfathomable, I think it is, that like anyone, that she's not alive, but like these monstrosities are. And I think like, from his perspective, you could probably like understand like, why he's feeling this way, or why that would be like a horrible situation to even think about. Like, why are all these like crazy creatures able to live whilst, this beautiful creature that I know and I love is gone? Like, that's a horrible feeling to even think about, really. And I think you can understand like his perspective in that as well. Like it's even though it's tragic, it's like something that like it's so beautiful at the same time as well, that quote. And that's what kind of led this to that happening. And I think even like with the Mara stroke, I wonder, because like the Mara stroke is affected by memories. Is that what happened with Jingliu as well, that it got like worse because she was affected by those memories of Baiheng as well? But she came back obviously like to say goodbye to Baiheng, and I think say goodbye to everyone else as well at the same time. So like it's like, there's like, I really feel like it's like Jin Yuan has to live with the fact knowing his friends will never be together again. Baiheng is gone. Blade is cursed to live forever, which, Jesus Christ, he compared his death to a feeling of happiness. Like whenever he gets to die for a moment, he feels like he's back having a drink with his friends. That is like equal parts like poetic and equal parts horrible, to the point that like it just makes me feel so sad. Like, how could anyone live like this? You know what I mean? And Dan Heng has to live in like the shadow of Dan Feng, but I feel like they showed that text at the end to show that he can move on. That out of everybody of the group, I feel like he can move on, not move on completely, but like that he can like have a chance at a life. You know what I mean? That he can have a chance at a life. There's a reason they showed Stellar March at the end, to show that he has a support system. He has people that love him. He has people that won't abandon him, that will support him. And even the general said to him, you have to find your own way in life. You can't just live in the shadow of Dan Feng forever. Blade doesn't want to move on, but I do think that it is one of those things where like Jin Yuan would not like nothing more than for him to move on as well. I think so. Jingliu said goodbye to everybody, but I don't think she hates everybody, right? I thought she hates everybody. I think she carried this with her for a while, and she needed it to be said. But I do think that even in the last line where she wanted Dan Heng to kind of like maybe like I think she said like something, I'm paraphrasing, like she hoped that they could like move on eventually. So I wonder if she does want everyone to move on from that hurt that they have as well. The goodbye in general in this whole quest was like really beautiful and bittersweet and bitter in general. The way they all went their separate ways, it makes you feel for this quintet as well. I think the quintet is something that they did in this game that's like so incredible. I think that they actually were able to like pull off something so amazing. That I think that this quintet could have its own arc, its own story, its own like game. I really feel like it could do this by itself. Like the quintet is like, I don't think I can express enough how amazing this was, seeing the quintet. And like I feel like it's one of those things where like, yeah, it's probably amazing that we don't get to see so much of it now, that's why it makes them even more intriguing and beautiful and all this stuff. But I still like think they could have their own arc. That's how amazing this like the premise of the story is. And like the idea of like this group that was like so loving to each other, and they were basically like family, and they adored each other, that they all deteriorated and like ended up like in a kind of a pit of hatred amongst themselves. You know what I mean? This idea of punishing themselves over and over again for what happened. The idea of Baiheng being the most beautiful soul in the world, sacrificing herself in the end, they couldn't take it. They just could not take this idea, and it sent them all down a path that you probably wouldn't want them to go. Even in the moment when they were clashing blades, Jingliu and Blade, it really felt like there was this thing where like, I really feel like it was this moment where they like were happy. You know what I mean? It was like this happiness, this weird happiness, and even taking off the blindfold to me was a moment of like, you know, we're all here now. You know what I mean? I'm no longer hiding from the past. I'm looking at you directly. This is the quintet. They remember the times that they had together. There's even like a quote there from her. I believe it was like talking about how like she wished those times would last forever. Like this whole story is so bittersweet. But it all kind of like was the idea of like, Jingliu came back to say goodbye to everybody. We found out about the resurrection of Baiheng, and the crimes of Blade and Dongfang. Jingliu, you know, obviously like in pain over his friends not being able to talk and not loving each other anymore. And of course, Dongfang as well is the reincarnation of Dongfang in that sense too. We also have Luocha here as well, but we don't know why he's here. We just know that they said that he's not what he's trying to take like credit for stuff that he didn't do, it seems, because even the general was kind of like, I don't believe you, and Jingliu was like, he's got nothing to do with it. So I wonder what his story is, you know what I mean? There's something to it. He wants to get before like officials and talk to them. So I wonder what's happening there. Let's look back. I want to look back on the cutscene again, because I feel like there were so many little tiny bits there that like and scenes that we could look at there as well. So we might look at that also at the same time too. But yeah, like I said, I would not wish what's happening to Blade on my worst enemy. Let's see if we can see here. I might turn it down, but like, or mute it for you guys, just so you guys can't hear my voice again. You know, double Calvin. So okay, here's the scene as well. So look at this as well. This fight here too. So that must be like part of the Mara stuff, like the immortality stuff, right? So cool. And look, I love that you could barely see them for a second, right? Look at that dodge as well. That's beautiful, right? The image of Yingxing and Jingliu. And them all drinking together as well. Look at the happiness on Jingliu's face here, you know? Or is that Jingliu or is it Baiheng, I wonder? We have more of the fight here, so well choreographed. Those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us like Xianzhou's lifetime. She thought this would last forever. Oh my god, look at the smile on their faces. They look at each other. They're never going to have this again. Look at all these images. Look at this. I'm trying to pause really quickly here. Holy hell. Is that the gods that they... This is all them fighting together against the Mara Struck? Look at them. Oh my god. Is that... That's... Wait a second. Oh, is that when she became Mara Struck? Oh, is that her crying alone? Holy hell. And that's the removal of the mask as well. And look at him. He has to stand there as his friends are fighting. Yeah. So hard to look. Like they can't even like look at it. And look, you can see her eyes, yeah. Oh my god, and they showed her as well. An absolutely beautiful scene. And again, a moment of reprieve was him dying. Isn't that crazy? The moment of happiness was him getting to die again and then being reborn again. He is cursed to never truly get that happiness of dying. To never truly get that happiness. But yeah, we got to see her eyes. Beautiful eyes. But like that scene there as well, like so much pain in that relationship, so much like history between all of them and the pain that they all have together. Yeah, this scene is beautiful and the imagery is so gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. You can see like Jingliu cradling herself at one moment. There's a moment where like you see Blade with all his wounds and the sword in him and stuff like this as well, showing like the punishment that he's had to go through over the years. All of them having fun and smiling, the pain that they went through. Jingliu with being Mara struck. It's just an amazing scene, and I really feel like it is like one of the most incredible stories that they've done in this game. I really feel like it's one of those things where they all try to like move on from this thing, but they really can't. I don't think they ever will. Stunning story. Absolutely stunning, absolutely incredible. one of my favorite companion quests, one of my favorite quests in this game. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting me and this series as always. I want to say thank you to the Never Kind of Paid Baby Gangster on Patreon for being so cool and for being so awesome as always. Thank you so much to Tyfire 2, JB Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Delicious Felix, Yule, Radish and Nusta, Deathtrap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Heck, Leon, High Casparian, Jared Beanham at the highest tier of my YouTube, Blasco and Royal Gamer 7, and I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.